Hey there, comic friends. I'm Travis, and it's Talking Comics. Gonna talk some comics. These are comics of the week of February 26th, 2025. Last books of February. Apologize for last week. I did a video of all my books, and my mic wasn't working, and I didn't really have time nor inclination to want to reshoot it and try and repeat myself, especially in the fact I'm completely unscripted. I just got to throw out whatever and hate repeating myself. So anyway, so we're going to talk books. I got a whole bunch of books. So in no particular order, I just finished reading these just a few minutes ago. So some of them are really fresh in my head. My books continue to be late. My books for this week. That's why there was no new comic book day video yesterday. My books continue to run late. Indianapolis Postal Service seems to have some sort of an issue, and they set on my package for the 3 days that it should take for it to get to me. Anyway, that's a whole other story. Let's jump right into comics. Black Canary, the best, issue 4. I've enjoyed this issue the most. Maybe, if I'm being honest, maybe that's because Black Canary's winning the fight in this one. I love the emotional beats in the book. Are quite enjoyable. This version of Ollie and Diana, kind of meeting and whatnot is amusing and cute. The interaction with Mom is really good. I really enjoy that, quite a bit. I love the very beginning, the watch party, having having Green Lantern asking Ollie, what's up, what's really going on, and Ollie basically giving him the, something with cops, even space cops, they're always looking for things beyond what it is. At any rate, I enjoyed it. Ryan Sook's art, is top notch as always. Why we don't see him cranking out series all the time, I don't know, or I'm just missing some of them. But good, excellent artist. And I'm enjoying it. I'm curious. I thought round 4 was the round she was supposed to throw. Clearly did not go that way as far as the story goes, but maybe I'm just not remembering which round it was. But anyway, it's been fun. It's been enjoyable so far. Looking forward to seeing what what becomes of it. Oh, issue 2 of the Seasons. Love that cover. What you see on the cover is what you get inside. I just really like this type of illustration. Paul. Yeah, I'm not going to say the last name. And I'm really interested in Matthias Lope's colors, his color work. He colors Bilquis Everly also, among some other people. And so changing his color style to meet this, what I want to call, I don't know, like late 50s, early 60s illustrated advertisement art. It's just really cool. And I really enjoy the art in it a lot. This feels like a different story from Rick Remender. We have some of the same intrigue that we have in a lot of stuff, and a lot of Rick Remender type thing. There feels to be a little less cynicism. I enjoy Rick Remender's writing. I can be quite a bit of a cynic myself, so enjoy that view of the world. But I don't know, this is a little less so. Just really enjoying this. So the beginning of this issue, we get into a little more of what Autumn is up to. Autumn seems to be some sort of great adventurer, chasing after whatever happened to Mom and Dad, who have disappeared in this family of Seasons. We get introduced to the other sisters in this. Winter, who is a painter, and and has all the trappings that come with being an artiste. Seems very temperamental and whatnot. And Summer, who is a high end like supermodel fashion beauty person, who stereotypically falls into all the trappings that have to do with, with that. She seems superficial and shallow. I mean, they're at the beach. They're at the beach going to be filming something, and she's upset because the lighting's terrible, and the lighting is the sun. The sun is too bright. And she wants her stupid director to fix it. So we get introduction to all of them. It largely continues to balance around Spring, who kind of seems to be the person going about the daily routine. And she's trying to warn everybody in the town, her sister, that, oh my gosh, this thing is happening. The evil carnival is coming. Don't know what any of that's about. The adventures with Autumn are interesting. Gets into some really intriguing stuff, but just I really enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. I love Spring talks to her goldfish as a goldfish and a little goldfish bullet she carries around there everywhere, and she seems to be having a conversation. The fish talks and to her, not that we hear it, other than an occasional gulp. But just really, I'm really interested. Like I said, I really just visually, it's really interesting to look at, and I'm curious to see what goes on with these ladies and this crazy evil carnival that's come to town and how that's going to play. But just, it's just a bright and intriguing book. So, a book that's not bright by any means. Department of Truth, issue number 28. I still just really enjoy this story. The gears have slowly been turning in our main part of the story, and we're moving an inch closer to, I don't know, the exposure of the Department of Truth and everything else, or further burying of it. The telling of the manipulation of everything, or not, is all there. On a personal note, the book plays heavier with me now with just the current conditions in the United States and the whole, if you squawk a narrative long enough, it becomes reality, which is a lot of what this book is around. Unfortunately, some people who don't believe in facts and things like that seem to have control over a large portion of the narrative in our country. So it stresses me out. So this book plays a different way than I think it would if I was reading it in 2008, maybe. But it's really interesting, though. Really intriguing. The players that are in this, how it's really going to unfold. What has Hawk got to offer at the end of this? All really, really interesting stuff that I look forward to seeing, continuing how it plays. I don't know how much story there is in this. I talk about this occasionally, how I kind of in my own head kind of, foresee where all could this book go. We've been telling lots of, side stories and stuff like that. But as far as our main character, our main FBI agent turned Department of Truth agent, him, Ruby, the other agent that's with him, Oswald, Hawk, our agents, Agent Cole, his husband, the reporter, how that all plays, how much farther this can be stretched out before it just consumes itself. I don't know. Interested to see, as always, Simmons. I was trying to blank on his name for a second. Art is amazing. His painting is just really, really cool and really enjoyable. So yeah, just always intrigued to where the book is going to go. Issue 55 of Monstress, deep into the woods of these ancient gods. Zim is captured somewhere and being tortured because they're trying to figure out how Zim birthed others, how they move things forward. Tim doesn't particularly know. It just happened from his partner or their partner, and the partner doesn't exist anymore. Meanwhile, our half wolf is fighting her own internal battle with a bunch of the other ancient gods from when they were in the prison, are now trying to escape, and they're potentially going to escape through the people who are trapped in that prison zone with them. Just really interesting stuff. Continue to say this book probably reads lots better in trade, just because you can read a lot more of it, because large portions of it are very slow moving, really interesting stuff. It needs those pages, it needs those panels to convey the story it needs to convey the art that it needs to, and the emotion that it needs to. But as a single reader, if I were to plot like how many days have gone by in some of these issues, I mean, I think it feels like sometimes we go 5, 6, 7 issues, and we may have covered a 24-hour span of time. Some time has jumped between the break in the book, so the characters have moved forward. But as far as what is happening, not a lot of time goes by sometimes in it. Sometimes that feels really just really slow. But like I said, still just really enjoyable and really interesting. It just continue to be intrigued as to where this goes. Cool that we're getting a little more. This issue, we got a little more potential self-discovery of Half Wolf. She's this character through the entire thing, but generally doesn't always have a lot of her own thoughts going on because of how much stuff's going around her and the things that have been writing in her and all that kind of stuff. So makes this an interesting issue in that aspect. But where everything's going to go, where the war is going to go, the deal that gets hatched in this, how does that play out? Does Zin ever get back? All kinds of interesting things to find out. Righty, okay, now we have Green Arrow issue number 21, dealing more with the freshwater killer. I continue to enjoy this. It's got the right vibe for a ground level Green Arrow book. Him kind of fighting the man, dealing with the corporations and the aftermath of what the corporations have done, and trying to figure that out. Unfortunately for Ollie, at one point he worked the corporate world, and his name is attached to a bunch of paperwork that has now made him a target. And they've just discovered that the freshwater killer is not in a single individual, it seems, that there is more than one. And I enjoy all those things. Those all harken back to what I feel like are Green Arrow type stories. So I'm really enjoying that by Conrad. Montos art continues to be really cool. I love his version of Ollie. He's got the sharp mustache, the sharp goatee, looking pretty cool as far as that goes. I mean, he's still a younger cat than what in my mind Ollie is. But like I said, as a whole, I'm enjoying this Green Arrow. It's moving him in that direction. The art, like I said, it continues to be cool. There's some really cool shots and some angles, some interesting either worm eye or bird eye type shots from some of the stuff in there. And the secondary characters, I continue to like them. I hope they hang around. I hope they continue to have this kind of established, him not working relationship with some of the police and how that plays. Just like I said, I'm just enjoying just a base Green Arrow story. Happy to have it, as Green Arrow is a favorite superhero of mine. Ooh, next up we have Absolute Wonder Woman, issue number 5, end of the arc of The Last of the Amazons. It continues to just be excellent. Kelly Thompson is just writing a really, really good story. Really good, thoughtful things go on it, emotional things go on it that are there. Hayden Sherman, they just do amazing work. His version of Wonder Woman, this Greek beauty, is just beyond the pale awesome. The coloring by Jody Belair is excellent. Also, I love her change in eye color depending on what's going on. It's just a cool little flair, little interesting other thing. We get more story of her backstory about her powers, about her magic lasso, how that works, how she's got this other thing of transformation, how that works. It's just all this really interesting stuff. Feels like at the end of it, we're going to get, here we are going to move forward into kind of a new Wonder Woman book, doing Wonder Woman things, and gets snatched at the end. I believe the next 2 or 3 issues are going to be it's has another artist on it, and then the next main arc will go back to having Hayden Sherman on the book. Just intrigued to see where all it goes. This is just, as far as being like an alternate type book, it's just really cool. And it's just an awesome time to be a Wonder Woman raider. And tickled by all the great Wonder Woman stuff. And despite she uses a sword, because I'm not a big on the sword thing, but it makes sense for this character a little more in some way or another. I don't know. I'm accepting it here, whereas I don't accept it in the regular Woman. Alrighty, we got Mad Cave, The Long Cold Winter, issue number 3. Yeah, so trying to think what I want to say about it. I'm enjoying the book. It exposes some more problems for Peace Dog and the boy. We get the boy's backstory. The boy's the robot that he's trying to take to a safe place for robots, basically. And we know that Peace Dog has made a bargain literally with the devil in some sense. And the devil is like, no, you can't do this. You're doing this is goes against the agreement that we have. And, what's next kind of a thing. Still really dig it. I really dig the art and coloring in the book. It's just really, really cool. Probably regardless of what kind of story. And this is so different than Love Me, which is their book I read by these guys. It's, other than having a robot in it, it's so different. But whatever these guys are doing, if they're going to put out another 4 issue of something else or whatever, I'm probably going to pick it up just because I just love the vibe of the book. Love the vibe of the colors and the style of the art. It just feels very free and expressive and just, going ham, doing what they want. And I enjoy that about a comic book. House of Slaughter, issue number 30. This is Azure, part 5. This ends this story arc. There's some stuff that goes on here that confuses the crap out of me. I kind of understand the ending of it. I understand the beginning of it. There's some middle stuff in there, some navel gazing that I don't. I'm just confused as to who the characters are. They kind of name some names that I'm not 100%. But I like where it ends at. I like where the characters are at when this whole thing settles out at the end of it. Some of these characters we've seen quite a bit throughout this series and stuff. I don't know if this is the end of the House of Slaughter. I mean, it's not. The house is still there and whatnot. But if we're done with the stories, I'm not 100% sure. Because I saw the way some people were talking, and maybe I shouldn't pay attention to online. May it imply like maybe it was. I need to look at my orders. Maybe I've ordered it. I don't know. If it's out, I am ordering it. I enjoyed this as a whole. Like I said, there was some stuff in the middle that I was a little lost on in places, and maybe if I read it all together, I'd be less lost in those things because time would go by for some of those people to be amiss. But I like this universe. I'm intrigued by this universe. The cool thing that's been about the House of Slaughter sometimes is it talks more about the workings of the house and the houses and the greater order. And that's all really interesting stuff. versus the Something's Killing the Children, where it really is Erica centric, which is interesting in its own right because of Erica and Erica's place and stuff, and how she functions with the Order and the nightmares and all of that. Is all that's all. I love the universe, and so it's all interesting in one sense or another. So there is that. Another book that was just absolutely amazing this week. FML. This is issue number 4. Boy, I hope this book ends up with lots of legs. I just don't, I don't know. I don't know how long of a story it can tell. There's our double page spread here. Love this cover. I was like, oh, that's a cool polar bear. And I looked at this cover like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. It sat in my piles and I was reading other stuff. And then I realized that down here because I was thinking, why is there a polar bear walking? I mean, not that weird stuff doesn't happen, obviously. I mean, we've got Riley, who's a monster. But the polar bear is our girl that knows everything, Lila. And she really likes polar bears. And so there she is. I thought that was really cool. At any rate, an excellent issue. The story in this is amazing. The art continues to be amazing. The different ways we can tell this. Embracing comic books for what comic books can do, that I just don't think there's any way in hell you're going to do this in a TV show or you're going to do this in a movie. It is so smart, this, when we get this different style of art, it's, this narration of telling things after the fact sometimes, or telling that as it happens, and having these other little break-in moments that you couldn't really do successfully in another way. The emotion of some of this stuff, conveying like the police calling mom late at night, waking her up, and what that feels like as a parent when you have kids that are out somewhere and you get a phone call from the police department. That heart floating and stuff. Some really, really good stuff in here. Some excellent emotional beats, some really intriguing story. And like I said, just the continued smart way of doing comics that's just comics. You can't, like I said, you can't deliver this stuff in another way, I don't think, effectively. Excellent storytelling, some incredible emotional beat type things in here that I thought were really, really good. Twist at the very end that kind of puts another seriously heavy moment on the whole thing. Just all around really cool. Love the back matter. There's a essay that's being written by Kelly Dusudiconic in the back of it that is just really good in a lot of ways. And I enjoy that, for a lot of personal reasons, quite a bit. But I just really, really dig this book. It's firing all the way around on what a comic book could be. Yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about it. There's always some fun thing in the back here, though I don't know how fun this is. What's on your plate? Take a picture, make a copy of the plate here. Use these icons over here, or put your own icons on that plate. There's a whole conversation in here about, putting stuff on your plate and not putting stuff on other people's plates. You're supposed to do that and send this in, and they'll share it maybe or whatever. There's not enough room. It feels like right now for me to put stuff on that plate. At any rate, just really great stuff. I can't recommend this enough. If you aren't reading it, if you're intrigued at all, I say you go pick it up. It's a good laugh. It's got some great emotional stuff in it. Go hunt down the single issues. Don't wait for the trade. I think we got just a couple more, and then maybe, I don't know if it's done or that's the arc or what. I hope it just goes on for forever. Sounds like at the end of this, there might be a small pause before we get the next issues. People got a little bit behind because Kelly Sue has a lot on her plate and continues to put a lot more on her plate. So, any rate, though, just great stuff. Get caught up. Enjoy the smart Northwest story that you have there. Oh, next up we have Detective Comics. Issue, what are we on? 1094. I shouldn't love this cover, but I do. And the reason I say I shouldn't love this cover is because I generally don't like covers that are just a splosh of different people, heads, bodies, all over the place, no specific plane, no whatever. I mean, I know this is a popular type of motif and whatnot. It's not quite the floating head, the infamous floating heads. Those people who've watched me talk videos for the last 12 years probably know that whole shtick. But generally does not. I don't know. Is it a movie poster? I don't know. I don't enjoy this composition generally, but I absolutely love these colors, the purples and the blues and whatnot. So it appeals to me for that reason. So yeah. Anyway, that's just my personal. Art is art, right? And you like what you like, you don't like what you like. I am just enjoying the hell out of this comic. Detective Comics right now under Tom Taylor and Janin doing all the art duties. Just really, really enjoying it. It just is such a great, just a Batman. It's just a Batman. It's just a Detective Comics story, and I'm enjoying that. It's not trying to heavy lift something. It's not trying to reinvent the character. It's not necessarily some Sojourn, even though I really like those two. The Ram V run that was right before this, I thought was excellent. I mean, I just enjoyed the hell out of it. I still think about it, so that's good stuff. But I'm just really enjoying this too. Just embracing all the cool stuff about Batman. And this Batman, clearly not Dick Grayson, not Tom Taylor's Dick Grayson, not that level of levity and whatnot. But this Batman does have a small sense of humor, and I enjoy that also. He's not so, I'm the Batman, that he doesn't have human traits, and I enjoy that. And this is current Batman. This isn't throwing back to when he's new and he's still trying to develop the I'm the Batman stuff. And I enjoy that too, because I just don't think that Bruce Wayne Batman can maintain that all the time. And so he has the occasional, I don't know, they feel funny to me, moments, like a couple issues ago, where he sleeps with an old family friend. It's like, I shouldn't be doing this, but here I am. It just seems kind of funny. And he knows it, kind of a deal. I love this issue. I love the conversation between him and Damian. I like, they send Damian into a prison, a boys' prison. He's supposed to behave, so so he can gather intel, not like beat up everybody, because Damian clearly has an issue with authority. He gets in there, and a guard starts gonna wail on some kid. Damian's not having it, causes a riot, and Bruce smiles about it, even though the instructions were not to. But his son, his boy, is not going to let some other kid get beat. This is not going to happen. I love it. It's just really, really enjoying this Batman. I just think it hits right in so many ways. So has all the good traits of Batman, with gadgets in his belt that he's prepared for, that he's thought about. So it's got the tropes that we owe. Batman's prepared for everything, kind of a deal. But it also has all these other good human things about it that also make it really enjoyable too. Just really happy to be reading it. Because of all the good things. Next up, we have Knights. This is issue number 13. This is the second chapter, I believe, is what they're calling it. Holy crap, stuff has changed. So clearly, a lot of time has gone by. I'd mentioned the last time I talked about this book, there was like these posters you could buy in the back, and it seemed like it was future type stuff. Well, that's kind of what this is. I don't 100% know what half the actors are that are in this. They're throwing around names and titles that I'm familiar with from the book. But other than that, it's not. I mean, there's some fun rompy stuff in here, but I miss Gray. I miss Vince. I miss Matt. I miss those people. Now, I think they're going to be in this much in the future and much God knows what. But But yeah, I read this kind of going, ooh, wow. I'm just kind of I'm haven't shifted gears with it yet. But I'm just trying to read it and let it be because I mean I really love the book, love the whole vibe of it. Um, I just let it see what it's going to tell me instead of going, wait, you're not telling me what I want to be told because if I want my own stories, I write my own stories, right? So I have to remind myself sometimes, let's see what the creators are wanting to tell us. This I think had to have been the plan all along. Though it feels like maybe we've gone, hey, this went more issues than we thought it was going to. Let's do this whole other crazy story. I hope not. And if it is, cool. I'm glad they got the numbers to do that. And let's see what we're going to explore because the world's fascinating. Love the art style. Love the vibe. Love the vibe of the back of it. They do a T-shirt of the month club type thing, which is cool. Haven't gotten any of those yet, but I think it's cool because I like T-shirts. Got too many. Don't have enough days to wear them, but I like them. And there's always music at the end of it. What I find interesting is I think all of the music, because they have a playlist every month, which is cool because I love music. And I think this is the first time that literally every song on the playlist I actually know. Because a lot of times this stuff is kind of more obscure, or it's like Japanese, or something that is not in my wheelhouse of what I normally listen to, which is cool because I love being exposed to new music. But like this has got like David Bowie and stuff like that, which I clearly know all of that. But anyway, I enjoyed it, but it was quite the change. I'm interested to see where it's at. It didn't have the joy that I normally get when I open this book, knowing that the characters that I'm going to have in it, and they're kind of the way they roll with stuff. It's new. There's some funny stuff in here, though. There's a guy chasing down a vampire and a witch, and I don't know if the vampire is gray with some other witch or not. I don't know that part because we can see them. We just see this other agent guy chasing after him, and he gets like. He's in Las Vegas and he gets buried in lizards and all kinds of goofy things, which is fun. Goofy's probably not the right word, but anyway, I enjoyed it. But it was just really, it was quite the shift in what the book has been. So we'll see. And finally, we'll end it with The Flash, issue number 18. I continue to really enjoy this story. Really interesting issue of Calypso talking about what he's done, where he's moving stuff around and whatnot. The great issue with our dog, who is basically a baby universe. Doesn't quite know it. It thinks it's a dog. So there's lots of narration from the dog's viewpoint with one of the Flash's kids. They're stuck on the moon trying to figure out what they're doing, while everybody else has kind of been separated into different sections of this whole adventure. Kind of a deal. It's a fun story. It's an interesting story. My only caveat, once again, is that whereas the art is not bad, I feel the art doesn't match the tone that the story, by and large, feels like it should be in. That's my continued complaint with that. But not so much so that I'm going to quit picking the book up. Shockingly, I am really enjoying The Flash, and I'm interested in these characters and what all they've got to do and what they got to say and where they're going in the adventure. Cy Spurrier is just writing an intriguing book. So yay, happy comics. Yeah. And that's it. That's it for this week. Hopefully I'll be back next week to talk some more comics. And maybe at some point, maybe my comics will start shipping and not get hung up in Indianapolis, and I'll get them on time so I can talk about them even more. Anyway, if you watched this far, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And have a great one, everybody.